The only reason
Right,
you
but
even
you
like
could
the only
put-
reason you like titties and butts and all that stuff, all of it is because of
I
the
know
way
that,
it's
but-
tied to
I know that,
reproduction and passing on your genes. So if we had evolved to reproduce in that fashion, you'd get all horned up and rock hard thinking about spooging on some deposited eggs somewhere.
But you could just miss the egg, is all I'm saying. You could just go over here.
But you
Kobe.
right, but all right, what's up, airheads? Let's go. Let's do it. It's time for Putting on Airs. Virtual Airstream Studios. That's where we're coming to you from. Wait, are you still at your sister's? I thought you were back at your house because you finally got non-horsepowered internet.
I finally got non-horsepowered internet, but all my shit's still over here.
Okay.
And that's like, I got a whole system. You know what I mean?
Right.
And frankly, no, I don't think I'm going back home. I think I will just have my other computer, because I have two computers. I'll have my other computer there, and that'll be, what's a less, like, does the president know any plane that the president goes on is Air Force One? We know that.
Is that true?
Yeah, that is true.
Does he go on other? I know there's more than one Air Force One.
Yeah.
But if he never ever steps foot on a plane that isn't one of those planes, then I mean, I guess you could.
Anytime an acting president,
it's technically true that it's Air Force One.
It becomes Air Force One. Yeah.
Right, but that don't ever happen, is what I'm saying.
No, it's in times of war, if his plane was damaged or something and he got on a Delta, then Delta becomes, in that moment, that's Air Force One. What I was saying is, what was I saying? I was talking about, my home office will now just be where one computer sits, and it'll be my less hitting Air Force One. It'll be like the presidential helicopter studio. You know, this is base one. I like it here. There's pigs out there. One of them's giving birth, so I can't go out there right now because they can't be disturbed when they're giving birth, or they'll I don't know what'll happen. The pigs will run back up in them.
Do they holler?
Maybe they do holler. Maybe they're protecting me, not the pig.
Because you know pigs, they're known for squealing.
Oh yeah, even when stuff hits.
Right, and birth thing don't hit. I've always been given to understand. Right, so a pig birthing probably really throws down vocally, I would imagine, but maybe not.
Dude, I bet, because not to say that pigs have it harder than human women, but I'm pretty sure pigs done have little tiny hooves. You know what I mean? They're pointy, so babies ain't pointy yet.
No, babies ain't pointy. That's true.
You know what I mean? You see a horse be born and you're like, God damn, that's right out the box. Hey, ready to go. That son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Babies is not in any way ready to go. Horses kind of almost are. Yeah,
that's how we conquered and subjugated all of them.
Exactly, because we could eat their children before they did anything.
Well, I mean that human babies are basically they come out not ready to go, as you know.
Right. Exactly.
They come out not done, essentially. Mm-hmm. We're like, this ain't it. What is this? This is not what.
I was not prepared for this.
Yeah, right. Other animal babies, they just fall and fucking get up and stumble around. The next thing you know,
get eaten by
wolf. Or if it's a predator baby, they're killing shit pretty quick or whatever.
Right.
But human babies is just useless for, years. But
dude, arguably till 24.
Yeah, but that's because of how big our brains be and how complex they are and how much
takes them a while.
It takes a long time for them to develop properly.
If ever.
That's why that is. It's also why I think that elephants be smart too by animal standards, and I'm pretty sure elephants have the longest gestation period in the animal kingdom.
So they babies don't come out.
I think they're pregnant for no, they do. It's just they're
in there longer than other.
Yeah, it takes them longer to get to that point, but they inside the mama elephant the whole time, which makes sense because elephants be massive. But they're pregnant for 2 fucking years, I think, or 22 months, something like that.
That's crazy. I've never thought about it, but I bet bubble guppies ain't pregnant for that long at all.
No time.
I bet them fuck. Hell no.
They don't even. I doubt they even get pregnant.
Right, it's just
they probably
eggs.
just shoot them eggs everywhere,
But,
and then
but they still,
the boy bubble guppies just shoot
but they
loads
still
all over
have
them
to
eggs,
be,
and then finally little fish pop out.
Okay. So you're saying that when the fish lays eggs, and then the male fish bejizzles all over the eggs?
Yep.
So they don't even have to have like regular sex.
No, I don't think that they do. I'm not saying that every species of fish is like that.
I did not know that.
I don't know about bubble guppies in particular. I just know that, I'm pretty sure a lot of them, female just deposits eggs somewhere, dude comes by and just, splooges all over it. And then later fish is born.
There would be no human baby ever born if that's what we had to do. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, we'd jack off, but we wouldn't think to do it on an egg. You know what I'm saying? Like, we wouldn't, there's no incentive for us to do it on an egg. The only reason that
you'd be biologically hardwired.
I know that, but we wouldn't have accidental pregnancies, though. Is what you would only be doing that to fertilize that egg.
I don't know, dude. People are dumb. I mean, I'm saying if that's what reproduction was for us, you can't see some 19-year-old dipshit getting drunk at a party and be like, fucking be funny if I come on her eggs tonight.
I mean, yes, but I think it would be more easily avoidable because you could jack off onto anything. Like nothing, like the reason that people risk having kids is because nothing beats pussy. But in this situation,
I know, but in this universe, that would be pussy, is what I'm saying. The only reason the only reason you like titties and butts and all that stuff, all of it is because of the way it's tied to reproduction and passing on your genes. So if we had evolved to reproduce in that fashion, you'd get all horned up and rock hard thinking about spooging on some deposited eggs somewhere.
But you could just miss the egg, is all I'm saying. You could just go over here.
But that same exact logic would apply, in my opinion, as right now. It would if we had evolved
pull out. It's just sometimes you don't get it.
I know. I'm saying that the same thing would happen in that world. I think
not to me.
You can't say that.
Yes, I can.
It would have been generations of human. It would have been. Yes, this is how things. I think I've got a much stronger argument than you do.
I think God had to make it pussy. That's the only way that it hits as hard.
If we had somehow evolved from the very beginning because everything about life is geared towards reproduction and life continuing and passing your genes on. So if that's how we passed our genes on, nothing would make you hornier or more excited.
But we want to do it in the booty hole.
Then jerk. You could still do other stuff, but I'm saying if that forever, since the dawn of man, if that's how babies happened, you wouldn't feel about it the way you feel about it right now. You'd be like, you'd be drawn to it.
I know. I just feel like
it's just like how you should pull out, but sometimes I just can't. It would be like that, but with splooging on this egg sac or whatever. It would feel like that.
Right, but in one situation, if you pull out of a vagina, it feels less good because you're outside of it. But in this, it would still be your hand, and you could just point it down a little bit. Just
right.
Yeah. You know what? I'll say it. Hot take. I'm glad it's the way it is because that's real good. That's real fun to do. The way that we do it, yeah. Love that.
Nailed it, by the way. Gestation period for an African elephant is exactly 22 months.
How long have you been staring at that?
Asian elephant is 18 to 22 months, which that's a pretty big variance in my opinion.
Sitting over, God damn, I hope this boy quit talking about coming on a goddamn egg so I can tell everybody I was right.
Yeah, well, I knew I'd get to it eventually.
Yeah.
Fret not.
Oh, my Lord. Okay. Well, that was fun. Hey, there's a thing that happened. I haven't done This Week in Fancy in a while, and you know what?
No.
Here's why. Forgot.
Right.
You know how that happens?
Sometimes you forget. Happened to me. Who's that? Ron White?
Yeah, it was Ron White. You know how sometimes you forget? Happened to me.
Happened to me.
It was, they kicked him out of the bar and he came back in. I goes, I forgot. You ever forget? Happened to me. That's another one of those lines like we were talking about on Well Read, that the whole thing, it makes no sense out of context, but it's just a fucking great line. Where's this goddamn thing I had in my notes? I'm so fucking mad.
Keep looking for it. I'll show you this in the meantime. This
Please.
is a one-off thing, but it's very, very, very on brand. I think this guy, I'm almost certain that this guy's been on the show. Not, but we've showed him on the show.
Covered
before.
him. Yeah, nobody would actually come here.
No, but this, well, you'll see. That etiquette feller on Instagram.
You should know by now that we never shovel peas. Instead, we spear them onto the tines with a fork. But another option is, if you have been served something like a mashed potato, is to put some mashed potato onto the back of the fork and put the peas on top, using the potato as some sort of glue. You should know by now that
some sort of glue.
Or you can do the way more hitting thing, make it a slop.
Yeah, right. I just don't, like, to me, I think you might have even shown the video where he said you spear the peas individually with the tines of the fork.
It's made me mad a lot.
Obviously, that's totally egregious. But, like, to me, it's like either do that or just do what the fuck, scoop them up. Like, how is this? Yeah. Like, explain to me how this is acceptable fancy lad behavior.
This is kind of like
doing what he just said, using potatoes to like as a sort of pea glue, but just, getting taters than peas than mouth feels like more trashy idiot behavior than just scooping up peas on their own with a spoon or something.
Yeah,
which is to say that it hits for me. That's how I would never eat peas any other way than what he just described, which is part of what makes me feel like it can't be fancy. So I just don't know how these lines are drawn.
Yeah, I was about to say, and look, this is going to sound how it's going to sound, and I just mean it because it's how I feel. But this is sort of the kosher Jew, the kosher Jew way of being like, it's actually okay to use an elevator on Shabbat as long as you have a bucket of water on your head. It's like, well, hold on now. Who are we cheating here? Either do the goddamn thing or don't do it. You know what I mean? Because I agree with you here. It's like, buddy, you're right at the fucking line. You're right at the line. Like, you're going to call me trash for scooping peas unless I fucking spackle the back of my utensil with it and then fucking, pick them up like it's arts and crafts. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I agree completely. Here's a comment from Fergal the Human that says, what is the proper etiquette for getting blown by a twink at the dinner table? He gets a lot of questions like that. People...
I always forget that you have a top comment lined up to tell me. Like, I forget it every time. And every time you do, it hits so hard for me. And all week this week, I've been saying this to Amber. I cannot get it out of my fucking head. Is anytime anything is brought up or Amber says like, oh, this is really good, I'll go, do it fart though. Like, I can't quit everything. Do it fart though. Has killed me. And now getting blown by a twink will be added to the vocabulary. And luckily, Bane is repeating everything we say now.
Nice. That's cute.
It is cute. It is cute. He kept saying, little bitch, little bitch. That was today, was little bitch. And that's what Amber calls me. She'll get mad at me and she goes, hilarious. You little bitch. So like, I'm like, nah, that's you right there. Anyways, go ahead with what you were saying.
No, did you? I did that because you were looking for something. Did you find it? Yeah.
Yes, I did. I think that he is now, I would have never thought, I could have made an excuse for why Bill Belichick was on this, could be for this show, because he is a rich guy, sure, but he's also very schlubby and whatever. But now that I think that he's got the Jordan Hudson girl, a socialite, and he's all over the place flaunting his money and stuff, I think we can welcome Bill Belichick into the discourse here on POA. And recently, you've seen the stuff with him and his girlfriend, right?
Oh, I mean, yeah, dude.
You can't avoid it.
I haven't. Honestly, I haven't seen anything like recently. It was all over the news there for a while, a couple months ago, every day, but I haven't seen like an update. So did something new happen? Yeah,
and you know what? I probably need to give a little bit of context for some of our fans, because I understand that not everybody here is as terminally online about football stuff as me or you, or they might have seen this guy but don't really know his thing. For those of you who are not football fans, Bill Belichick is arguably the greatest NFL coach of all time. He was the coach for the Patriots for the entire Tom Brady dynasty, yada, yada, yada. Now he has come out of retirement, as a lot of those coaches do, because they just can't not do it. He's going to coach at the University of North Carolina, which is a huge deal. He's going to back to college. But the main thing is he in his 80s, like he's already in his 80s, right, Trae?
Now, I mean, he's like close, but I think he's like 76 or something because Pete Carroll, who is now the coach of my beloved pitiful Raiders, he's 73, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And he was the second oldest when they were both in the NFL together. And Belichick was like, I think 2 or 3 years older than him. So he's like 76 or something, I think.
He's 73. It was 73 when 73-year-old University of North Carolina football coach, Bill Belichick.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that must mean Pete Carroll's like a couple of months younger than him then, I guess. Okay.
His girlfriend, though, Jordan Hudson, the reason they've made news is that she be 24 years old. He is very much like,
she do be 24, yep.
Yeah. And, well, I'll say this. It's legal, but it's not for me to know about or see because it's just gross because he be looking like the penguin. But anyways... she's been trying her best to make him more hip. He's got an Instagram that is just comically him reading off a script that she has made. Well, today what they have done is they filed a trademark for the term. I'll give you a guess. What term might Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old girlfriend trademark? Well, I'll say this. I'll give you a hint. It's something that one of these in this relationship has been called a lot.
Oh, the goat something?
No.
Something the goat?
No, more derogatory.
Oh. Dumb whores are fun, TM. I don't know.
Who the fuck this bitch thinks she is? Trademark. No, gold digger. They filed a trademark for the term gold digger, which they had the intention of using it to create a line of jewelry and keychains. This year, they also filed trademarks for Chapel Bill, Bellustrator, Trail of Salty Tears, No Days Off.
What? Hold on. Trail of Salty Tears?
Buried the lead, didn't I?
What the fuck? I mean, that's pretty fucking insensitive. He's coaching in North Carolina now, by the way.
Yeah.
That's where the Trail of Tears is. Like, they have to be referencing that. It's like a
and dude, even if you're not, you do not know that you shouldn't ever make a pun about that in a business. Like, what are you trademarking it for?
Yeah. Also, so they mean like, oh, we thrive on the salty tears of our haters.
I'm certain that's what it is
supposed to mean.
Yeah. But it's also
still pretty, yeah.
But I'm sure they're going to like bring it up a lot more when they play FSU,
Yeah. She should go with a goat digger. Combine the
goat digger. I like that
because then it's like I dig this man. And he's a goat. I dig goats. Yeah.
Well, number
gold
one,
digger's a little on the nose. Also, I would have figured gold digger was trademarked by somebody.
That's what I was going to say. Already. I've got 2 questions. I'm going to ask them both. Answer them whenever you want, but I'm going to go ahead and ask them both. Otherwise, I will forget by the time you answer one of them. Number one, how do you feel about just being able to trademark just a phrase? And when do you think it's like, no, that phrase is just uniquely public domain? And I'll give you an example. Like, everybody be saying that. Like, I own the trademark for the buttercream dream. That's not like a common phrase that everybody says. That's a character that I created. Like, most of the time, if you say those words in that order, you're referring to me. Yeah, gold digger is not that way. So, number one, how do you feel about, and where do you think the line should be drawn with trademarking things?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how you can like just delineate a specific spot where like here is the line because there's so many endless possibilities. They're just, I guess that type of thing goes through some kind of court system or something, and they should just
like
decide.
Tom Brady trademarked "Let's Go" or something.
Well, I remember very famous because it was like a big story at the time because of this, because people being like, "That's bullshit." When she was at her peak, Paris Hilton trademarked "That's hot." Right. Remember how that was her? That was her catchphrase. That's hot. Fucking, like that. Well, that's anybody
bullshit.
Can say that about a thing that is hot, Right. And I know it's like she used it in a fucking, whatever. But I remember thinking like that's fucked up. Donald Trump did that with "You're fired," and then I remember because of The Apprentice, and then he, and then there was a pottery. I remember this story too. There was a pottery store or whatever in some hippie, like in fucking Berkeley or something, called You're Fired Pottery. And it had been called that for a long time. And, because they fire, you get it, in a kiln, like they fire pots and shit.
It hits to see.
You're Fired Pottery.
Does that hit for you to see?
Yeah, sure.
Kilns?
Especially when they do it sexily, like in Ghost,
Yes.
when somebody's got your arms wrapped around you sexily making pots.
Yeah. I'm a fan of kilns.
That's the better way to make pots. No, I like pot stuff. I like to watch pot shit happen, on IG and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's fun how that thing spins.
It is fun how that thing spins. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just needed to know.
And it's just a lump of shit, but you put your thumb in it, and then it's a jar.
And
later.
it's a jar.
It's
or
pretty
a mug.
cool. Yeah.
Dude, they'll put their thumb in it, and boom, it's a thing. And then they'll just like lower their fingers, and it's a whole goddamn different thing.
No.
It's fucking nuts, man.
I do like pot stuff.
Yeah.
It is neat how pot's made. But anyway, he got that. He sued that little tiny place,
and they went bankrupt and killed themselves. I'm sure.
Right. Probably,
Jesus, that's how that story ends.
I definitely. But I'm not. I don't have a good answer for how you could determine. It's like there was a very famous quote from a Supreme Court ruling that everybody always thought was funny because it's kind of a. I don't know. Sometimes fucking Supreme Court justices, they get a little cheeky, even in their
Absolutely, dude. That is too much power.
So I guess I was about to call this unintentional entendre, but it might have been completely intentional. But they were talking about some big Supreme Court case was heard years ago about basically whether porn was legal or not, because prostitution isn't legal, right, in this country or whatever.
And they said, "What is pornography?" And the guy said, I know it when I see it. I can't define it, but I know it when I see it.
I can't define it, but I know it when I see it. And that was, that's funny because it's like, haha, because that means he watches porn.
Right.
It's like he didn't, but then again, he may have fully meant it entirely that way. He might have been winking at his intern when he, dictated that to her, putting the dick in dictate. But, I feel like this is a situation like that where it's like, I don't know how to define where the line should be drawn, but when you hear basically, if you hear somebody's trademarking something that is a common phrase or thing that people be saying or using regularly, they ought not be able to do that.
Is there any other?
The buttercream and dream are all things in and of themselves, but you put the three words together into a thing that weren't before that a thing.
That's right.
Seems clear cut to me.
Well, that's all I wanted to know. Also, is there any other words that it's a word that don't hit, but it's made up of two words that do hit, quite like dictator? Your thoughts?
Right. Dictator, it's like, I feel
two of my favorite words.
Right. Well, but I don't know how to put this. I don't even know exactly how to frame what I'm thinking, but I've always kind of thought it's a little weird, but maybe it's just how sophomoric and juvenile I am or we are or whatever, but that people don't more often openly acknowledge how silly of a word dictator is when it's it's dick and tater, which is two funny ass words.
Great words, yeah.
And an actual dictator don't hit,
terrifying,
like you said.
Right? Yeah.
So when people talk about dick, they're talking about fucking Putin, or they're talking about.
You can't just laugh and go, "Oh, you said dictator."
Yeah, Kim Jong Fat over there.
A real dictator, that guy.
Yeah, they're talking about people like that. So it's not, it's always serious. I don't know.
Right.
It's just weird that's such a serious word and such a serious thing.
It's unfortunate.
Is dicks and taters.
Yeah. Also, aren't you a little surprised that Kanye West didn't have this trademarked?
What? Fish?
No,
fish
gold
sticks?
digger. Gold digger.
Yeah. We moved on to dicks, and I was
my bad. I somehow kept the thread, which is surprising, but
honestly, yes, I am. But Kanye, he wild.
He is wild.
Is Kanye trying to come back around again recently?
Buddy, I think
he
if
was
you'd
on
asked
somebody's
him,
podcast or something.
I think if you asked him, he never left.
Sure.
But man, here's the thing, dude. And I know we've talked about Kanye on this show before, and he certainly fits. He is a putting on airs motherfucker himself. I can't believe I'm saying this about Kanye, but like, I do think that he went too far to ever not be successful. He can be successful, but like, he will never touch what he was because he's become a joke to too many people. And I feel like his whole thing was very much not being a joke to people, like being a messiah of sorts, you know? And he's never going to lean into it. The only way to succeed with this is to own it, and he will never.
That's why, you know, Matt and Trae fucking picking him for that episode, that South Park episode, because that was before. People like now are too young to remember, people forget or whatever. I mean, plenty of people don't, but that before that happened, he wasn't, people didn't know that really about him. No. Like those guys just had seen him around and seen him in interviews and stuff, and they were like, he seems like
he could not take a joke.
He can't take a joke at all, and he would be the perfect person for this. And they picked him and put it in it, and then he flipped the fuck out about it, proving their point completely. Exactly. And then like it just
that's him from then on.
Just one of the best comedic pulls of all time, probably.
Absolutely.
If don't think people want to call that.
I don't think people really, now that everything's online and we see new things all the time, I don't think people really remember how like fucking culturally important South Park was, because they did that a lot with people where like we think of these people as a thing because what South Park showed them to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they've definitely been having a moment in the sun again lately too.
They have
30 years in.
Well, they're about to go broke, Trae, because they have gone woke. So
yeah.
Don't get too excited. Hey, I got something here for you.
That fucking okay.
No, go ahead.
We probably already talked about it. Even I can't remember on at least one of the shows or something. But it's just like South Park has been doing that exact type of thing
forever
to every. You think Hillary Clinton didn't get that from them? Like,
dude, they had Hillary Clinton shoving so many things up her ass.
Right? Yeah, like for years, like.
And I mean that literally. Like they had her shoving stuff up her ass.
They have always gone ham on literally anybody and everybody since day one of the fucking saga, and it hit for you just fine until it's your boy, and now you want them fucking canceled or whatever. And I just don't know how you like live with yourself if you that big of a bitch.
I agree.
You know what I mean? How do you not realize like, I suck? Yeah, like the fact that I feel this way about this means that I suck as a person.
Yeah,
and I'm a stupid baby.
Dude, they made Al Gore look so stupid.
Stupid.
I mean, so bad that they ended up having to apologize to him, but the way that they apologized
like the only
to him
time
was,
they ever have.
Right, but the way they apologized to him was just by having him come back and by having it confirmed that Man Bear Pig is real. Like,
right.
And he was still acting like an idiot in the apology episode. He was still going, I told you I was correct. So like they apologized to him, but still by going after him.
Right.
Al Gore didn't give a fuck, water off a duck's back to that motherfucker.
Matt Damon, that like the story, Matt Damon.
Right, oh my God, yeah.
Team America World Police, for people that don't know, literally the entire story with that is they had picked the actors that they were going to have in this movie or whatever, like the fake actors to be in the Film Actors Guild, which was led by Alec Baldwin. That out loud.
So the perfect guy.
Right. So but anyway, they picked the other famous people that are going to be in the Film Actors Guild in this movie, and Matt Damon was one of them. And they commissioned the puppets, and when the puppets showed up and they unwrapped Matt Damon's puppet, they were like, "This one looks a little fucking derpy and slow or whatever."
Right.
That was not the plan, but then when they saw that they were just like, it'd be funny if all he ever said was Matt Damon. Right? And it was just like, it just happened that way. And Matt Damon, like, for years later was like, I don't know, what? That was fucking, obviously he didn't,
he didn't make a stink about it.
No, he didn't make a stink about it. He was just always kind of like, I kind of didn't really understand where that came from.
What did I ever do to these people?
Yeah, then finally it just came out. They were like, no, we didn't plan that either. It's just, just
right.
Happened. They just fucked your doll up, and instead of having it redone, we just made you get it started,
Oh, my God. Okay. I I have a thing to show you. So I had my notepad where I put links from Instagram and stuff often, just for my use to send to you guys or whatever. And so sometimes, as you know, I don't know what they are because I just word them. This one just says Camel. All right, so this just says Camel. But I know it has to be something good because it's Camel. Camel's hit. Can you see
Camel
this?
Do here. We talking about the? Okay.
Wait, that ain't it.
Yeah, no, it says camel hump recipe.
Oh yeah, this is it. Yeah,
they
hold up.
Camel humps in Egypt.
Damn, I needed to start over because at first
refresh your refresh.
Yeah, here we go. That working?
I mean, I can see it. Do you want us to hear it, or is it just music or something?
No, it's got music and stuff, but like,
yeah,
I didn't read the caption when I first put this on. Have you ever seen camel hump?
No, the meat. No, so that's what that is.
That's what that is. That is the hump of a camel. Yeah, I know they putting that tahines on it or some shit. No, it looks good as hell.
When he sliced into it, I wasn't ready for that. I was expecting it to be like, I don't know, just straight fat or something.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like fat right there, but when he cut into it, it looked more like white meat or something.
I know. It looked like fat with it. It looked like the camel was a turkey or something. Because see, look at that.
Yeah, and camels to me are not like turkeys.
Not at all, dude. But I mean, I'd fucking try it. Now you know me.
Hell yeah, I'd try that.
Okay, so here's the recipe. This is a recipe from 3000 BC. Smoked camel hump over fire, Georgian khachapuri with camel fat. So there was camel fat in there.
Okay, so it's cuts. It's like pork belly and fucking pork loin or whatever.
Yeah, and see, to me, fucking it being all fat would not be. To me, having a hunk of all fat would be a feature, not a bug. I mean, obviously, you want some regular meat too, but I'd almost rather it be all fat than all not fat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It just depends on some fat is. I'm trying to think of it just depends on the quality of it and the way that it's cooked, I think. Because obviously, I brought up pork belly
because pork fat is God
among the hitness of fats. Yep.
I mean,
pork belly, jelly roll.
Oh my God.
Shane Gillis. These are some of the hitness fats out there,
buddy. Pancetta, God, just.
Is Shane still fat? Even Shane Gillis, is he still fat?
I think he's as fat as he can be.
Fat as us, right? He's about the same
which
fat
is as fat as he can be right now. Because he's like, obviously, I don't think there's any movie demanding to get him in shape, but he does have that like, God damn, I got to see myself on TV all the time. So he's more conscious of it, you know.
Yeah.
But I'd say,
yeah,
he won't ever let himself.
He's just a big old boy, you know.
He's like fucking 6'5" or some shit.
Right.
Like he's
he
huge.
Played fucking college football like very briefly, but he's just like a big corn-fed son of a bitch, you know.
Yeah.
Like they're just big like that. That's different. I feel like. Don't you feel like that's different in terms of fat?
Absolutely, dude. Like it
plays different. You're more big than fat.
Absolutely.
Like dude, people see you primarily as just that's a big son of a bitch, not as being, you know, a fatso, as that Australian called him apparently.
No, absolutely. I mean, my brother-in-law is like weighs more than me. His gut's bigger than mine. He's also tall, but like I'm fat and he ain't. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And it's not like he has a six-pack or nothing. It's just he's just a goddamn old country boy. And that's just how that be. I got another one for you here. This one's saved under my notes. It just says China fish. So I bet you that's something.
Well, this could go literally anywhere.
Look there.
I might be very upset that. Yep, I saw that.
This is upsetting.
Is that real?
I mean, I assume it's real. It says it is also possible in China to get Yin-yang fish, a fish whose body is deep fried while its head is protected. Speed is the key when you prepare the fish. You can't hurt its internal organs. First off, you don't know that. So when you serve it, it can stay alive for at least half an hour.
It looks like it. I guess it's real. It has a Wikipedia article. Yeah, yin-yang fish, you know, dead and alive fish.
it's not like this is out of the realm of possibility for our Eastern friends.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, they don't give a fuck.
No. And I know it's like we be killing it too. What's the difference? I don't need my fish to see me eat it. I don't need it to be alive. Like how does this hit to, like, who's the person that's like, I would pay more for this if the fish was blinking? That's who I want to know.
I think that it probably originates, the idea just probably goes back to, like, you know, fresh hits, right?
Fresh hits.
Like when it comes to food, fresher is hitting her.
Right.
What's the logical conclusion of that? It's like, let's just eat it alive. You know? Right. Like, you know, it's only a matter of time before fucking humans came up with that. I say came up with that. Let's be honest. We probably started off eating things alive.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They didn't.
Like
they had to. We ate before we discovered fire.
Yeah. Just bonk one of them little tapir things on the head with a fucking big old stick and then just start eating its butt, you know.
Dude,
I don't know why you'd start with the butt. You know, a lot of predators, like when they get something down, they just bite your whole taint, balls, butt area first.
That's rude. Bite my
while
neck
you're
first,
still
please.
Alive.
Oh.
Yeah, imagine that. They eat you like balls and butthole first.
Like the way you ain't the most you're not gonna die quick way. From the least,
and like the most don't hit at all. The most like torturous and worst. Like, dude, nature is brutal. They do that apparently. Like, you know, it don't not make sense. That's also the most like incapacitating. Like, apparently that's why they do it. Like, you know, whatever, they've gotten an antelope down or something. They just bite his whole dick and balls off or whatever. Because then he's just like, oh, and he's out. You know, that's it.
I was picturing a wildebeest when you went, oh, and it was so funny. I mean, that tracks across. I mean, because dude, if you're about to get in a fight with a bigger dude, your best chance is to, as hard as you fucking can, kick that motherfucker. If you can get both his balls and that butthole bone in the same kick, I promise you, you will have enough time to run away, unless he's cracked out of his mind. Because, like, dude, that was the worst. It's not just the balls, but you know when you get like someone, it's like the front, the back of their boot hits your nuts, but the tip of their boot goes up your asshole. You ever had that one? Woo!
No,
you ain't?
Thankfully, no.
How many times you been kicked in the balls? You think? Guess.
I mean, you know, I have been for sure, but it's been a while. Yeah. I mean, my most recent nut shots were from when the boys were little.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I'm in that zone right now.
That same people they don't tell you. One of the things they don't tell you is like babies and toddlers will just speed bag your nuts on accident all the time,
unbelievable,
just repeatedly,
and sometimes on purpose. It seems
they'll just run up and just like fucking just slam down a little thing of goldfish just right on the top of your balls or something.
Bro, when me and Amber, when we couldn't get pregnant, I just knew. I was like, I know what it is. I've probably been kicked solid, not accidentally, solid in the balls 500 times. Like, I feel like we stayed doing it because we wrestled, like WWE wrestling, and like that's how you set up someone for the Stone Cold Stunner. And we didn't know what a work was. God damn it. We just kicked him in the balls, you know?
Right. So, I don't know. It's weird, dude. I hate, like, the divide between the East and the West is nuts to me because, like, I have Googled yin-yang fish, and then also is yin-yang fish, like, is it still a thing? Because part of on Wikipedia, it said in 2007 it was banned. It said it was a Taiwan thing, Taiwanese, and that they banned it there in 2007. But then it said that video you just showed is originally from 2021. And it's like, so then I Googled, like, do they still do this? And I literally can't find an answer, like, on the whole English internet. Like, you'd think that it feels like that ought to be something that you can find out in the age of the internet.
The Chinese control the internet.
They do shit over in China and in Taiwan and stuff. We just ain't allowed to know about, or don't really care enough to know about, or are too stupid to know about. I don't know, but it's weird.
You know what'd be a hit and edit if more people knew about them fish was two of them yin-yang fish sitting there like on the plate together doing this, and you overdubbed it going, oh, yup.
Yeah.
Oh, yup. That'd be so fucking funny to do. I might do that for the love of the game later.
Yeah, as soon as that, I swear to God, the last time I said yin-yang fish, when I said it, I was like, I know that he's gonna. I knew you was gonna do something like that.
I will never miss an opportunity. And the other day, just like every time it happens, because of my wife, every time I hit a ketchup squirt bottle and it goes, I go, make that ketchup fart for the Yin Yang twins. Can't help it, dude. They are forever with me, man. Forever. What an era.
Absolutely. Did you want to
take a break? We need to.
Yeah, you're right. We should take a break. Then we'll continue
let's take a break
after this.
And we'll be right back with something. What do you want to do? Stuff.
WWE Universe Clash at Paris is almost here, and my bookies got the action. I always feel like the proper way to pronounce WWE is actually, you got to really hit that W. That's the way they always said it. WWE. Yeah, in my day. NWO. Anyway, the Clash of Paris is coming, y'all. John Cena versus Logan Paul. That's going to break the internet. You just know it. Nothing since Kim Kardashian's big naked butt has brought it to the internet the way this match is going to. The GOAT and the viral megastar. One of them's got the legacy. The other's got the views, but they're both drawing serious action right now. On my bookie, match winners, method of victory, who's going to do a surprise run-in, if anyone. Best believe it. If it can happen in the ring, you can bet on it. On my bookie, and while the action's heating up in Paris, football season's coming right on its heels, baby. That's what I'm real fired up about next weekend. It's here. It's prime time to cash in. If you're trying to bet it all in one place, my bookie is your headquarters. If you're new to my bookie, you can use our code POA, and any bet you choose up to $500. You heard that right. Any bet up to $500 is fully covered when you use our code POA. You make your play. If it don't hit, we all know about that around here. You get it right back when you opt in using your bet back bonus token. Clash at Paris is going down. Football's on deck. It's a damn good time to be a bettor, baby. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with my bookie and use the code POA.
Hey, guys, I know that sometimes when you're thinking about walking to a room, you might go with your hip, you know what I mean? Or you might go like hand first, pushing the door open. I implore you to walk into the room dick first. That's what I'm saying. You're going to be proud to. Blue Chew ain't just a tablet. It's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting. Like somebody gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. They are the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. I've been using them for 7, 8, something, almost a decade now. And as I've always said, don't mean that you got something wrong with your ding dong. It's just you might want a little extra oomph. And we all know that Barry Bonds was way better on the Giants than he was with the Pirates, at least hitting wise. Fielding, he was still a gold glove guy. I don't need to get into that, but it's great because it comes discreet to my door. Nobody has to know. Makes my wiener harder than coming up with metaphors about how hard my wiener is week in and week out, because Blue Chew is always our wonderful sponsors. They're great. And we got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew for free. Just use our promo code POA at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. And a big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. And Trae,
get you a new dick.
Why wouldn't you?
All right, and we're back. It's time. There's a couple things I wanted to do that should be real quick. One, earlier we were talking about just big old boys or whatever. One thing I wrote in my notes while drunk on the road recently that I saw, that's all I got back in there. No, not
best notes in the world.
So a lot of times I put links and shit, but this I just wrote a note to myself, and it says, "Check in on absolute unit lad." Right?
Oh yeah, that guy.
So you remember that? Yeah,
he was the British guy. He was like a regular man, right?
Yeah,
but he was just a huge fucking dude walking down the street. Or he was in Parliament. He was in Parliament.
No, not quite that fancy, but he's fancy. That's why he fits this.
Yeah.
he fits this this show. This is the picture that went viral, but this was years ago, and I was like, I wonder if he's still out here doing it. You know,
he did.
But,
oh yeah.
So
man, what an odd guy.
So, and that's so. In case for those of you who don't keep up with the news and stuff, that's the queen, the late queen
yeah.
that he's standing behind. So that's what I'm saying. He's a fancy son.
And this is the orbit of death behind her.
Yeah, but some guy. So this dude apparently is the hotel manager of, I guess, literally the fanciest hotel in fucking England. I mean, the goddamn queen's there, and he's and he's the manager of it. But someone just took this picture of the queen, and it was posted online, and some other dude from the UK just tweeted the picture with the quote, "In awe at the size of this lad, absolute unit." Right. And then now there's a whole subreddit devoted just to absolute units.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
And
this guy.
awesome.
So anyway, so I looked it up, and from everything I could find, he's still just, and this isn't surprising. Again, it's like the hitness hotel over there. That was like 6 or 7 years ago, but he still just he works at that fancy hotel. He manages it. The king be coming through there. He fucking, like creeps behind him like that, sucking royals into his orbit or whatever. Probably, eats whatever delicacies they don't, like in the back over the sink.
Yeah, it's weird because he
flogs himself psychologically for it, but he's still there.
Like, he's an odd looking duck because by the way he's dressed and stuff, like, and the fact that he does that job, obviously he looks fancy, but just like the size of him gives real like Of Mice and Men vibes, like just the shit. Like, he's so big, he gotta be dumb. That type is just like, because he's so weird shaped. Like, he looked like all he eat is onion sandwiches. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he looked like a dude.
Well, yeah, him being British fucking helps that, dude.
Right.
I'm sure onion sandwiches is a thing over there. I know that they'll, like at a pub, they'll just put like a fucking
block of cheddar.
A block of cheddar, like this goddamn thick, in between two slices of bread, and just put a big chunk of raw onion on it. And they're like, proper nosh this. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Y'all wild.
So wild.
But yeah, he's still there. He's still there. This is from his bio. And the hotel's called the Goring in London. He's the chairman.
Like a movie.
It's a family name, apparently, of course, owned by the Goring family. The current CEO is Jeremy Goring, the great grandson of Otto R. Goring, who founded that hotel more than a century ago.
It's just a young hotel then.
But the absolute unit, David Morgan Hewitt, says he doesn't do it on purpose, but wherever David goes, awards follow. The Goring's much-loved chairman has been with us since 1990, first as managing director before stepping into his current role in 2024. Over the years, he's received the Luxury Travel Advisor General Manager of the Year Worldwide Award. 2 Katies. I guess Katies are like hotel Oscars.
That makes so much sense.
2 Katies for
name.
top manager and recognition for his outstanding contribution to the hotel industry. He's a past president of the Royal Warrant Holders Association, a point of great pride for the Goring, the only hotel in the world to have been granted a royal warrant for finest services by Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II. So, yeah, dude, he's still there, still big, still doing it.
Did I bring this up to you, or is this something that an episode I prepped that me and you didn't get to do? Because that's happened to me a lot. That the Ritz-Carlton, one of the perks that you get by staying there is that each one of the people that works there, whether it be the concierge or the people who actually take your money or whatever, everybody there has the power to spend for anything, for any reason, at their discretion, $1,500 per guest to help with a request. Even if they're only staying for one night, whatever. They have that authority. Like that's their.
No,
so like,
I did not know that. Fucking how much money does it cost to stay at the goddamn Ritz-Carlton?
It's a lot, but the way that I remember reading about it was they like most guests. It's like first off, this is not a thing we advertise, so it's not like people come stay here and try to cheat them out a lot, I guess. And it's like most guests don't do it. The point is like basically anything they need up to $1,500 per person per day or whatever, we'll take care of it because we hear their recidivism. Do you still call it that when it's a good thing when people are returning?
I don't know. Yeah, return customers, repeat
they have
customers,
like the most of that anywhere. So they're like, hey, look, even if this
loyalty,
even if this ends up kind of paying for their whole trip or whatever, they're going to come back. They're going to keep coming back. They're going to send people here. They're going to stay for multiple nights. But like one instance was this guy had left his computer there and he'd flown home and he needed it. And he called him and he's like, I have a work thing tomorrow. And they realized that it would take too long. So they just bought that computer at a local store of his and had it delivered to his house that day. And they were like, no charge, it's on us. You know what I mean? Again, in their thought is like, well, he'll always want us, which fuck, I would too. If somebody did that for me, I'm always staying at your place. But yeah, no matter what it is, up to $1,500 a day per one of them people, that's a thing.
You're right. Apparently, according to Google, it's $2,000.
Okay.
Maybe inflation in Joe Biden's America. I don't know. But
it probably is because I think the thing that I saw this on was like an older Prime documentary or something like from the 90s, early 2000s. And so, it would have gone up. And that nuts?
I was thinking that's super nuts because the first thing that popped into my head is that Jesse Plemons line.
So I have never brought this up.
No, that Jesse Plemons line from Game Night, where it's like,
how can that be?
How can that possibly be profitable for Frito-Lay? But for Ritz-Carlton, because I was like, because I looked it up, the Ritz-Carlton in LA is like $550 a night, know, and I was like, if you know this and you're staying there, you can balance that out and fucking like immediately, like but I guess they're dealing with fucking fancy people. Pieces of trash don't stay there who would willfully take advantage of it in that fashion. And what you said, but it probably really doesn't come up that often. But when it does, it says the philosophy behind the rule: investment in loyalty, as you mentioned. This also demonstrates a profound trust in all their employees, giving them an extra amount of responsibility as a sort of brand ambassador and trusting them to make the right decision. So it's not just about the guests, it's about the employees too, I guess, like that fosters loyalty in them. Like, you're part of the family. We've empowered you. You're a housekeeper here, but we're giving you this level of trust and discretion every day.
That's who could make
most places ain't doing that. So
yeah, the real scheme is you're an employee, right? And you just constantly have a stream of people checking in. Like you take out a loan to get people the money to be able to check in here. You have a constant stream of people and they come in, they pay for their room, right? They get to stay in a nice luxury room. You make it seem like you had to fulfill a $1,500 request in cash for them or something like that. You give them the money, which reimburses them for the hotel room that night. You pocket the rest. Nobody knows anything because it had to be discretionary. You can do that a couple times a goddamn month, pay your fucking rent. And your buddies get to stay in a swank hotel. That's the move.
I bet that has been happened or been done before. I would.
We should go back on something. I feel bad for this because I said, it's because pieces of trash don't stay there, and that's who would do this. I think we need to recognize that the ultra wealthy are the biggest schemers and scammers of cash ever. But theirs is usually as you say in the joke, your grandmother's retirement fund or like big time plays. But this would be good for Leonardo DiCaprio Frank Abagnale Jr. when he's starting out. This would be one of his little deals, that I could see happening.
You want to hear the exact opposite of that?
Yeah.
The exact complete opposite of that.
Okay.
If you are ever at a gathering of the Juggalos, whether it's the primary gathering or not, they have their own policy that they've adopted. The Juggalos have.
Let me swallow, please.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And the one in particular I'm talking about, you should never pick up money off the ground at a gathering of Juggalos because one of the fun little cultural idiosyncrasies the Juggalos have is called the poop dollar. Because the idea is like most people, even a lot of rich people, you see like some sort of like money, like folding money, fucking laying on the ground. It's almost anyone's going to pick that up. So how hilarious would it be if you poop inside of a dollar, or poop and then wipe your ass with a dollar, and then fold it up in such a way you can't see the poop, or crumple it up, and then you put it on the ground, and then you wait for some dumbass to walk by and pick up the dollar, and now they've got your poop all over them. And that's hilarious and much fun is had by all. So, you paid $1 to have a great time with poop and your boys.
I mean, dude, if you think about it, a movie's like fucking $35 now, and sometimes they don't even hit. For $1, you and your friend can sit there for multiple hours. And the fucking payoff of watching somebody touch your poop and then freak out. How have you? The only time you can have that much fun at a movie is if it's a jackass movie. You know what I mean? Right. No, that's great. $1.
It's also kind of a version of a tried and true world famous poop prank, which doesn't even require $1.
Yeah.
The what? The bag?
The bag of poop on fire?
Yes, on fire on the front porch, obviously. Yeah, for that, you just need poop.
Yeah, well, in a bag.
And a little gumption and a bag, and a lighter, gumption. I guess.
That needs to be a fucking shirt. All you need is poop and a little gumption.
A little gumption.
Do you get hungry every time you hear the word gumption?
No.
I not only think of gumbo, but I also think of Forrest Gump, so I think of shrimp. But also gumption sort of to me is kind of like an onomatopoeia of a sound you'd make when you're gulping, like gumption. Like I always do this when I hear the word gumption, and I think about swallowing soup. I should go see somebody probably about that.
Yeah, there's lots of things that you have a lot of what are those called?
Ticks, like Pavlov's dog shit. Ticks,
yeah, like
triggers.
I was thinking triggers, but I don't know. Yeah, you're conditioned by a lot of different things.
I am. Like if I hear a chong, like a gong being
like
hit,
a Chinese
gotta
person
have noodles.
Talking?
Yep, gotta have.
Okay.
Gotta have that too. Though, if I'm watching a show and a Chinese person starts talking, I require noodles. Have to have them within 30 minutes, or I'll freak out. Mm. Which luckily I have. Like I always have ramen. But yeah, dude. And it's weird because right. I love Italian. I love Italian food. I do, maybe more. But hearing an Italian person talk doesn't always make me hungry unless they're talking about the food. If an Italian person is talking about food, I could have just eaten Thanksgiving dinner and we got to bust out we got to get the China back out again because we got to make some fucking Fabergé and some
What brand of ramen do you roll with in your closet?
I guess go with Top Ramen, or whatever. Or,
You've
Top
never
ramen
branched out into some of the fancier ones. Even the fancier ones that they have are not expensive. Like there's one called
I do. If I see
Shin Black, I think is the English language that's on it. And there's also I live in LA. I don't even know how many they have, and
they have a couple, but they're not always at Food Line. They're definitely at Publix. And when I see them, I get
Georgia,
them.
where you live. Yeah. But out here, there's plenty of. But have you ever done that Korean comfort food packaged ramen recipe that I know that I've sent you before or taught you before?
No, I've never made it. I've made homemade ramen where I made the broth and stuff.
I think this is that guy J. Kenji Lopez Alt or something like that.
If I saw him, but
he's a famous internet chef.
Okay,
J. Kenji Lopez Alt. I fucking nailed it. Anyway. He's, I believe it's the Serious Eats guy. Yeah. You know Serious Eats?
I know Serious Eats, yeah. Please show me something of this
That's his thing.
Okay.
So he put on Serious Eats once, like this, he's like, this is a Korean comfort food recipe. You take a regular package of cheap store-bought ramen.
Oh, maybe I have
make it. You make it when there's when there's a minute left or something. When there's a minute left, you put a bunch of butter, 2 eggs. You crack 2 eggs in it. You just drape. You put the noodles on top of the eggs. Just let them sit there for, like I said, a minute or less. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, 2 slices of American cheese.
Yeah.
And you let it sit there for a minute, and then you whip it all together. And bruh, when I tell you
it's great.
It
I've done it.
Fire. Yep. It's fucking. The only reason I don't do it anymore is because it's just too good. Fat.
Oh yeah,
it's too
like
good. It's
900
too good. It's
calories.
too hard, and it's like it's too much. Like it's just
you should treat yourself once every month or something.
Yeah, but it's I went on a spell there, and I'm not a spell goer owner the way that you are. Like you go through times where you're like you eat almost exclusively pancakes, right? But like
with me, it's called ADHD. Also,
I don't normally do that. But when I first found that particular ramen recipe, I kind of did that for a while.
Because it's so easy.
Eating that very frequently for a little bit there, but
I do peanut butter a lot. Yeah. That's my a lot of. I don't really drink anymore, but when I used to be hungover quite often, I would make ramen and put some peanut butter in it. And
I've done that before too. That
extra MSG.
Yeah,
just loaded up. Trae, I wanted to talk to you about something that I think relates to the show very, very much. One is just movies in general. I've always thought that cinema is one of the ultimate expressions often of going up your own butt. I mean, many have said that it is that it's the working man's art, yet now we're overpricing the working man out of it, and some people look at it that way. Popcorn movies. Tom Cruise is obviously a huge proponent of just making structural films that are not necessarily meant to challenge, but meant to entertain. And of course, I love those. And Bradley Cooper, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I can't stop. And Bradley Cooper has been in several of those in the Marvel franchise. But as of late, Bradley Cooper, and I say as of late, probably around The Star Is Born, he really wanted to put himself out there as a man of the arts, a guy who pines for the Oscar, an auteur, a man who pines for the Oscar. And there's nothing wrong with that. At all. I respect it. I'm glad that people pine for the Oscars because to me, that's why a lot of the great movies have been made because people have egos and they make great things. He's recently, his latest directorial debut or his latest directorial production is this movie called Is This Thing On? And it stars Will Arnett. And if you just said Will Arnett's going to be in a movie where he gets divorced and tries stand-up comedy, my brain would probably go straight to like this is a Judd Apatow joint or something like that.
Sounds like it. Yep.
Sounds like it, right? But with Bradley Cooper directing it, and I saw the trailer, which was good. I think it's going to be like, it's going to be funny, but I do think there's going to be like some heavy shit in it. Like I don't know, I don't think they're going to go full Aronofsky the wrestler, but I do think it's going to be some dark things in this dude's life, and everybody in Hollywood loves anytime comedy's brought up, they have to talk about the darkness, like it can't just be a guy likes to make people laugh. It's got to be the darkness. You know?
But so Mark said the same thing yesterday when you brought this movie up in our group chat. That's what Mark said too. He's like, stuff about comedy always pisses me off because that's always what it is. He's like, it's never just, you were sitting in your hotel room and you saw a goofy episode of a Guy Fieri show or whatever, and it gave you an idea for a bit. That's not exactly what he said, but it was something like that. And he was like, that's really how it works. And I don't know. There
definitely is the darkness.
Very much so.
I've just never liked the idea that's all it is.
Even as a comedian, I'm not like, I don't know. If you made like a Letterkenny style show about a group of like young comics or something, and it was just them sitting around smoking weed and farting and going on Tinder dates and running bits and stuff. If they were like workaholics level,
Seinfeld is exactly. Seinfeld's basically
could
that.
Hit
right.
Yeah, but they did so much more.
I know, but
Jerry
I'm saying
was a comedian in it, and they showed him.
But I'm saying there was no darkness. There was no darkness. He was in the way that Mark said, like he would come up with the show was how he came up with his stupid ideas. And then at least early on, and then he would play them out, on the stage. There was I can only think of one that wasn't about darkness is all I'm saying.
Right. But that's not, I don't know. I guess it is like Louis definitely was like, definitely had darkness, but not exclusively. He did a lot
it was
of
goofy. They farted.
He did a lot of goofy.
Every episode was its own thing with Louis.
But I don't know, and I don't know that about this Bradley Cooper movie either. I wouldn't classify Seinfeld or really Louis as being like about stand up the way that like the movie fucking Punchline or whatever,
or
and then
crashing.
I'm
people.
dying up here I'm dying up here crashing. Hacks,
people.
which I do like Hacks.
I like Hacks too. Miss Maisel. Those are all shows that are like about comedy or stand-up comedy, at least. That's like built into the premise. Louis and Seinfeld are both just kind of like about Seinfeld famously about nothing. Louis is about being a dad
more than right. And he, just like Jerry, he happens to be a comedian, but that show's not really about comedy. And Mark was saying like everything about comedy always sucks. They never get it right. Some of that I do agree with. Again, I like the show Hacks, but I like the show Hacks a lot. But plenty of the scenes that show her on stage, the materials. That's the main thing. If you're a comedian, which most people are not, is like I was just talking to James Bain about this recently because he's an ex-Marine and he was talking about being a military consultant on movies.
Right.
So, me as a comedian, when I watch shows that are about comedy and they have the scenes where they go up on stage and they fucking destroy and it turns the tide and everything's good, that they keep the darkness at bay because they go on stage and kill and they show that, and I'm watching it like that bit
they're not killing. They're not killing.
Yeah, right. Like that bit would not get that reaction. Yeah, right. It'd be fine. Like that's not. And it's always been weird to me because it's always like, I don't really get why that is. I don't get why you can't get stand-ups to just
Rogan explained it one time.
Okay.
On my favorite episode of a podcast ever, I'm probably going to get shit on this because it's not like
the Jay Leno episode.
The Jay Leno, I've told you about it a million times. I love that episode.
I listened to that whole episode too.
Yeah, it's great. And this is back in the day. Yeah, and this is back in the day when Rogan's podcast was just interviewing comics. And he had Leno on there, so Leno don't want to talk about fucking how big a bull's nuts are, the space. So it was all about stand up and it's all about working for the mob and stuff. And he was talking about how his pet peeve when watching stuff about comedy or just in TV shows, even if it's not about stand up, he's like, they'll start a scene and the person's telling the punchline. He'll go, and so the dinosaur said, hey, watch out over here. He goes, and then everyone will laugh. Everyone will laugh like it's the funniest thing. And I'm like, well, show the first part. Like, why are you so lazy that show me the first part, show the whole joke. And Rogan was like, he goes, yeah, well, a lot of comics write on these shows. He goes, and like when I was writing for news radio and playing on there, he goes, when you're writing and you're a comic and you come up with a really, really great line, you go, well, fuck that. I'm going to keep that for myself. I'm not giving them that. Because once you say that, it's no longer yours. It's this character that did it and you can't say it on stage. He's like, so if you thought of something that was a genuine banger, you would keep it and then you would just write a half-ass. So you're not like, no comedian's ever going to give away their best shit ever, period. So I don't know if that's 100% true, but it's good working theory.
So but I realized though, like, and when I was talking to James again, he was talking about being a military consultant on movies and about how like so often he's like, I don't even know why I get hired to do that.
They won't listen to him.
I'll go up to him and I'll be like, hey, just so you know, that gun that you're having him call this is actually this type of gun. And also you would never hold it that way and you wouldn't enter the room that way or whatever. And he's like, they don't go, okay, thank you. Appreciate that. We're just going to do it anyway. And it's like, but I told
you think
James,
they do it to have that person that have that on the thing. Like we had this guy.
I totally think that's, any director. Yeah. They do it for that reason. But they just do what they want to do. And here's the thing. Like, I get it. I've never been in the military.
Me too.
I don't notice at all. Like, ever.
But James
and then
Bain
I'll get
does.
on Reddit and there'll be somebody acting like a show sucks, like completely sucks because they get all that stuff wrong. And I'm sitting there like, I never noticed a single one of those things. And I thought this show hit just fine. So like, so I'm saying,
and you can't write applies as like a comedian watching show.
Watching shows and movies about stand-up, it's like you have to realize that. Like other people don't.
And we're such a small audience, they're not going to ever care about us, and why would they?
Right, exactly. Especially as compared to dudes who were in the military, there's a ton of them.
That's true. No, that's true. I'm sure at this point, those guys, because there's not always movies about comedy, but there's always movie about war, so they've just I'm sure for them, it's just like, yeah, that we just accept it, whatever. You know, it's not going to be that thing. I mean, that happens to us sometimes when we watch things about the South, you know, where we're like, bruh, that is number one, that is not that accent, which that's whatever, or people don't really do that. But again, I'm sure that Hollywood is just like, look, we're not going to cater to the 10 fucking toothless rednecks that are actually going to watch this pretentious piece of shit. I suppose.
Yeah.
So there was,
anyway, and that's that movie. I don't know. You know, it just, of course, Bradley Cooper is not going to make the Letterkenny version of whatever that.
And that's why I'm bringing it
just
up.
Sitting around farting around and fucking talking about jacking off and stuff. Like he's going to do the
Artsy
darkness version.
Yeah.
You know, but of course he is. I don't know. They're two very different things, but I just don't. I don't see Mark's sort of disdain for why people go that route when they decide to make something about comedy.
That.
Like to me, I'm like, it feels obvious.
It feels obvious. Why wouldn't you? Because otherwise, what's the point?
Right. Exactly.
And also it's a natural juxtaposition, a crying clown. Like that is a genre of its own. Like even if it's not about comedy, you have a character who is that. Like that's his whole
doctor,
depth.
I am Pagliacci.
Exactly. That's a fucking whole genre of thing is somebody, they play this guy, but they're really this guy. That the duality of man, you know, and that's, and on that, now, I think Mark only said all that shit. He does this all the time because I'm the one that shared it, and I said I'm hopefully optimistic about this because I said normally stand-up movies. I said, but I'm hopeful. So because I said I think this one might hit, Mark had to go, well, you just fucking bury them hopes in the backyard, bucko, because it won't. Because, dude, every motherfucking day I come in that thread, and you have no idea the fucking filter that I run the shit that I'm about to post in that thread through. I go, okay, what if I post this? What's Mark's response going to be? And I go, and how can I? Like a lot of times when I post something, I'll already be typing out a response based on what I fucking know that motherfucker is going to say, right? That I know. So I've learned I can't just post this thing. I must post it with preface to quell the rage of the bald wizard, you know? And then I'll go, then there will come a time when I go to post a thing and I'm like, there's nothing he could say. This is bulletproof. It's fine. You're not being stupid. And that was one of those. No. And sure as shit, here he comes. Fuck your day. Like that motherfucker will not let me have any type of independent goddamn thought without just showing his prejudice for me as a person immediately, rapid fire.
But I mean, is it not at least like possible
that I'm an idiot?
No, not that you're an idiot, but that Mark thinks all the things that you like are stupid. Not because he thinks you're stupid.
No.
I'm
telling you, I've seen it. I've fucking seen it. I've fucking seen it.
You and he happen to feel completely differently about a lot of things.
I've seen Drew mention a thing. I've seen Drew. I can't give you the example because I wasn't thinking. I've seen Drew mention a motherfucking thing that I'd brought up months before, much to Mark's chagrin. And then Mark's sitting there talking with Drew about it, like, "Oh yeah, that thing hits." That motherfucker don't even remember what he said to me because he didn't have an opinion on it. His opinion was, "This is what Corey thinks. Don't hit. Dumb, right?" Drew said it. Might hit. Smart. You know. Like I promise you, man. I'll send him some shit and he'll respond, and I know for a fact he's not had time to read through it, form any type of educated guess. Like he just said, dumb. Like, hey, dude, fuck him. Like he does that all the time, all the time. Like I have so much anxiety every time I hit send in that fucking group that I'm going to be made to be the jackass of the world just for being like, oh, you know, say what you will about Alec Baldwin, but this is kind of a fun video. It's a fucking terrible video. He's a piece of shit. I can't even believe that you follow him on there. He's got crypto in his story. And like, just fucking, it's
well, I know I, for one, thank you for your service because whenever
that's the only thing that keeps the thread alive is me and Mark going back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives me life for sure. As soon as like sometimes, and I can't think of a good example recently because I'm putting myself on the spot here, but there will be times where you'll post something in there And I'm like, ooh,
I know.
Like, I just know. Like, as soon as I see it, I'm like, Mark gonna go in on him for this.
Yeah,
he's gonna flip the fuck out. It's gonna massively improve my evening. I can't wait for this to happen.
And there've been so many times, like, obviously, yeah, Mark's smarter than me. Well, most of these are not a right or wrong thing. They're based on opinion. But there will be some times when there is like a right or wrong thing, and I'll be fucking right and will be vindicated within a couple days. And then I'll fucking go in there and be like, hey, Mark, remember this shit? And he'll be like, no, I don't. I've moved on with my day. I don't concern myself with petulant little text dramas. And it's like, yeah, when you lose, you don't. You know what I mean? But you concern yourself a whole lot with them when you're fucking just. So I saw this preview,
Bradley Cooper,
and I think to myself, if anyone can do this and it hit for me, it's Will Arnett. Like, that's the perfect guy to be a dark guy that's funny. He can get there.
You said the character goes through a divorce and then decides to start stand-up comedy?
Yes. And here's one, and so I wanted to discuss, and we'd already mentioned a little bit the things that you see in a comedy movie that immediately you go, God damn it, not this. And one of them I kind of saw in the trailer. And it was like his first time ever was going up at the Comedy Cellar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, no, that don't happen. Like, you can't just do that unless you're the owner's son. And even then, I think they'd be like, no, go to the Fat Black Pussycat and work the door.
Crashing was good about that part of it, which makes sense because Pete basically telling his own story, and Pete lived all that, and he was doing like hell gigs and barking and shit. And also it's the fact that it's set in modern day. I don't know, but I've always gotten the impression that back in the day, like in the 70s and during the
you could do that.
That did happen to people.
That's why Miss Maisel is a little more like Miss Maisel. Her rise would be crazy now, but back then that stuff, like, we've talked about it a lot on this show, where it's like they go, yeah, I was just coming off a bus and I blew a piece of bubble gum in the air, and that guy goes, hot dog, that's the ticket. We'll make her Bazooka Joe's lady, or whatever. And that did happen quite a bit. Good. Was it good?
It was good. I liked it. Yeah. It was
Thank you.
Good tell
Mark
there, but
I hit. But he don't think so. But now,
people know. Again, I think it's a version of what we were talking about a minute ago, where it's like most people don't know seller, that. But they do know the comedy seller is iconic. Yeah. The comedy store is iconic.
Yeah.
They know that. People do know that. So you put this,
and they know about open mics.
There, and they know, and people don't know that, this could never happen. And they know that the general audience don't know. So they're just like, fuck it. This hits harder. It hits harder to have it deal at the comedy seller stage or whatever. So who gives a fuck if it's not how it actually works?
Because if you want, like, if you're going to do it the right way, but you're like, we want to get him to the comedy cellar, but we got to get him there the right way. You got to write 45 more pages, of him doing the grizzly pear and him doing
a Rocky montage.
You could
that goes over the course of like 5 years or something.
Of him just on stage going,
exactly.
That was an immediate thing that I was like, and again, I'm going to watch the movie. And I say, like, the Marines should get over it.
That could be really funny. Has
a montage of one of those shows? I don't think so. Yeah, that's great.
It's like it just goes back, like, fucking, he does that, him sweating, fucking, what else is going on? Fucking, he, like, fucking him screaming cunt at a lady in the front row or whatever. You know what I mean? So dude rushing the stage, just all this like stupid shit. Fucking
that would hit.
Yeah. But treating it like. Presenting it with the tone of a Rocky montage, but it's stupid comedian shit.
Yeah, and then like as he's slowly starting to get better, he like successfully is just like I don't know, some woman. He gets a woman back, instead of calling her a cunt. He professionally handles it, and everybody just starts laughing at this fat lady, and he's just like,
that's great too. Yes, right. Like, then she's crying. It shows her crying or whatever.
And that's like
he gets carried out of the room on their shoulders and stuff.
Just punching meat. Fucking stupid bitch.
That would be funny. I just remember you were saying
we're gonna forget. So some young kids do that and show it to us. That'll be fun.
Of Birbiglia's movies?
Yeah, I think he handles it well.
He did. He did kind of that when I'm pretty sure in Sleepwalk with Me.
It was Sleepwalk with Me.
But it was like it it wasn't the tone of what we just described. It wasn't like a joke. It was like an artfully done, like it was. But
him
he showed
driving
kind of
and
a montage of him as a young comedian, like getting better, but again, done in a like actual filmmakery type of way, not like
which was good.
Yeah, it was good.
I hope he gets to continue to make films because
I think that maybe he's got like another one coming out like soonish,
based on one of his stage plays.
I don't know. I can't remember. I just feel like I heard him on a podcast or something talking about the next movie in it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, Sleepwalk With Me is
awesome.
He's awesome. Sleepwalk With Me is like a hidden gem. It's obviously it wasn't like a smash hit or anything, but it was definitely critically well received. It's fantastic. But anyways, so that's one of those things that like immediately makes me go, whatever. Do you have any that come to your mind of like when you see that in a show about comedy that you're like, oh Jesus, that never happens, but people think it does?
Oh man, it's more just like, and I can't think of a specific joke, but it's more just that like almost anytime I ever see a comedian character being shown on stage doing comedy in anything, movie or TV show or anything, almost every time I'm like, that ain't that, like, the response. I mean, when it's like a bombing thing, that's different.
That's fine. Yeah. Cause you can make that happen.
Yeah. Right. You can make, but when they're like killing, I'm almost always like that would be doing just fine. That would not be murdering the crowd the way they're showing is the main thing.
Yeah.
That comes to mind.
And also the time, like the amount of time it takes to get, like they are like within 1 year, they're a fucking pro. They've already opened for all these people. And like that just, and I know people saying, well, that didn't happen for y'all because y'all don't hit. No, it don't happen for hardly not nobody unless they look amazing that they already get in TV or whatever. But like, yeah, they'll show them. It's like
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson. Yeah, right. They go straight from open mic to, they're on this, they're on that. Like
Eddie
that
Murphy did that too. But
it's not completely unprecited. It's
unprecedented, but it's very, very, very uncommon.
Every one of those people we're talking about is like a once of their generation talent.
Yep.
And the people that they're showing in the movie aren't that. Like they're just like, it's like a regular schmo. But also another thing I wanted to talk about was like, let's say hypothetically, this movie smashes, which I hope it does. I hope every movie's great and I enjoy it and it's successful. But if this movie's a smash and like hypothetically Will Arnett won an Academy Award for playing this dark comedian and who becomes this on stage philosopher, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Like I feel like comedians are already so up their own goddamn ass about all that shit, thinking that we're the last bastion of free speech and all the truth.
Well, okay. If that, like, surely that ain't what they're going to do, though.
No. I don't think they're going to do that. I'm saying comedians already think that way about themselves.
Bro, if that's the way the movie went and he won an Oscar for that, if he basically turns into, like you said, a guy who buys into the whole idea of like, we're philosophers of the time.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing. And he's seen as like the new George Carlin. And that's how the movie ends. And he wins an Academy Award for that. I agree with you that I hate that. But it's a weird dynamic where it's like comedians are very far up their own ass, especially with that in that particular regard, especially in this era. But at the same time, like Hollywood and the industry and stuff just don't, respect comedy or comedians at all. Like,
no, they don't.
So,
but maybe Bradley Cooper does.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's got a free ticket.
Obviously, the slap at the Oscars,
Right.
Fucking, I hope Chris Rock's a comedian. He got slapped on stage, and everybody just kind of went about their night and gave Will Smith I know, obviously, it was pre-planned he was going to get the Oscar, but I'm just saying, like,
that does make it really so much more insane.
It's crazy.
Like, that's how mad he was on the night he knew he was about to win an Oscar.
Well, I don't know that. I don't know that they know. Do they know? They don't know.
No,
do they?
I don't know that they know, but like I feel like if you win, you had a pretty good idea you were going to.
Yeah, probably, especially
because everybody knows the voters. Everybody takes the temperature. Like there's somebody that some old dude in Hollywood that's that's in the Academy who's sort of like a whip. You know what I mean? That like has some sort of count.
That used to be fucking renowned producer and rapist Harvey Weinstein. I'm pretty sure. Like literally. And then what they said, like that's what he did. He was the guy that sort of invented the like campaigning and the whipping of votes for the Oscars. That's how
it's why Saving Private Ryan lost.
Beats Saving Private Ryan,
which is
just insanity.
It's insanity, but like that's all. Like, dude, fuck him. Can't wait till he's dead. But that's the thing that proves Harvey Weinstein's greatness more than any film he ever did, was that he took down the king and Tom Hanks, the king of the king of directing, the king of acting, in the king of all wars and the king of all genre. And it was, and by the way, it was
king
fantastic.
It was king shit.
Right.
Yeah,
it wasn't like,
100%.
oh, well, this movie was fine, but it was about World War II and directed by Steven Spielberg, so we'll give it no. Like, we've all watched that movie way more than we'll ever watch Shakespeare and Romeo or whatever the fuck.
Absolutely.
And this one, and this one's about the horrors of war. Like, it's hard to get through a lot of it, you know?
Yeah.
That's the greatest thing. Like, it's unbelievable that he did that. And also, wow, fucking disgusting to take it away from that goddamn movie, you know? And Shakespeare in Love is fine. It's fine.
Right.
But I think more people would like it had it not beaten
Yeah,
Saving Private
you're
Ryan.
probably right about that.
Yeah.
Either that or it would be essentially completely forgotten.
Maybe. Yeah,
I think it'd be one
true.
of those two.
Because it almost
but if
is
I'm hearing you
anyways.
right. Yeah, you're saying that in your opinion, Harvey Weinstein almost, but ultimately doesn't hit. That's your assessment.
Man,
yeah,
he like
it was close, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to come down the side.
I'm gonna have to say,
don't hit for Harvey Weinstein.
I don't think that man's gonna be sitting at the right throne of God anytime soon. You know what I mean? I think he's probably not good. You know, at all.
Probably not
as a person.
That's
By the way, the other day,
Wiener don't hit either.
Who don't hit?
His wiener don't hit.
No, his wiener don't hit. I bet it don't. I bet his wiener.
You never heard? Like, you've never heard what people say about his wiener and stuff?
No. Is he got ED and he can't? And he's some blue chew?
Apparently, it's all messed up, just gnarled and crazy.
Hold
and
on.
Super gross and don't hit.
Does it kind of just look like him?
Probably.
Okay, this is what I'm picturing him as right now.
Duck. Donald Duck in a floaty.
It's from Garfield. Hold on. I gotta show it. This is what I think that Harvey Weinstein looks like, him and his dick.
This has been a go-to for you.
Look at that.
This meme or that picture.
And no one ever uses it but me. It's exclusive to me.
Since I've known you, the first time I ever saw you reference that no one listening is going to get this, was about Serpent Wiener.
Serpent Wiener, yeah.
Who just everyone knows, Serpent Wiener was a young comic and a cancer patient who Corey said, "You look like a snake's dick," and so then everybody called him Serpent Wiener after that.
I also came up with Serpent Wiener.
I know. It was too repetitive to.
I know. Lavish me with these hits.
Also, Snake's dick is funny too.
It's I hit the whole time.
I was just trying to mix it up, but
it was very wrong.
Is that about it? You reckon?
That's about it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. That's it.
Well, let's
get the fuck out of here.
Oh wait, do you have airmail?
Oh yeah, I got a couple. Yeah. Actually, go ahead and plug your stuff. We'll plug them and then we'll do airmail just in case people fuck off. I want them to hear where we're gonna be.
Yeah. All right. Well, coming up next, which is I think it's 9/11 actually.
Nice.
Pretty sure. Yeah, 9/11. Guess where I'm coming? New York.
Not
shit. New York City. Not New York City, but Buffalo,
damn.
New York. Buffalo, New York. So it's fine and it's not weird or nothing. Buffalo, Syracuse, Albany, Hartford, almost every city in the state of Ohio, Richmond, Alexandria, Rocky Mount, Charlottesville, Virginia, Milwaukee, Madison, Dallas, Oklahoma City, and then right before the end of the year, Nashville at Zany's with Corey and Drew. And I've got 2026 dates up already too. They're all at TraeCrowder.com. So please come see me.
I ain't doing shit. Go to CoreyRyanForrester.com though. That's where you can go to my bonus stuff page, my hero. All the links are up there. You can also order a cameo from me. I'm already booking the holidays because I usually get full and I can only do so many because the Buttercream Dream, he screams too much and I won't be able to talk during the holidays. So go ahead and get him in now. CoreyRyanForrester.com. Here's some airmail. Subject line, a little bit about Crystal. Things that make me go, Do not mention my name this time. This is someone who's let us use their name before, but we're about to hear some stuff that they're too scared to release their name.
Spill the dirt on Crystal. I'm
little about Crystal. For those of you that maybe this is your first episode listening, Crystal, we've talked about them on the show. They are a burger spot. If you're familiar with White Castle, same style, but they were founded in Chattanooga, and they're sort of a regional thing for us. It was founded in Chattanooga. The headquarters now is in Dunwoody, just outside Atlanta. Maybe that is why so many are located in the great state of Georgia. It is. When I was in college, you could buy a sack of crystals, a dozen, for $3. Yep, I'm old. Boy, you sure are. God damn. We would play penny poker regularly. I would go to Crystal with my winnings on a good night and get a sack full of crystals plus 2 more fries and a Coke. Boy, first off, let me just say, that's fire. That's everything you just said. Is fucking the America, like when everybody says, be patriotic and stuff. This is what we want. This is what we want. We want to play.
What? It's what we had too.
It's what we had. It is what we had.
Just that's this fine lady or gentleman here.
Yeah, like just penny poker with your buddies and then and you know how hard that sack full hit back then. Oh my god.
Right.
Oh my god. It's hard to imagine now, but yes, I would down 14 of those greasy goddess burgers on the reg. I found then that they were the best hangover prevention / cure available. More things change. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was the fact the grease aided in the removal of the alcohol, or it was because the stomach ache, which followed and sometimes was accompanied with a gastric explosion, made you forget your headache, but damn, it worked. I also noticed back in the day that crystals only were in states where at the time allowed consumption of horse meat. I ain't saying, but the law was changed in 2007 and it's now illegal to consume horse meat in any state. Around that time, I also noticed the quality of crystals began to decline. Another point that may or may not support the theory. I still from time to time love me some crystals, but their pricing has made it a special treat instead of a quick late night gut bomb to absorb any alcohol swirling around in my gullet. For 5 colon smashers, small fry, and a Coke now cost between $12 and $15. Where my country gone? Keep up all your hard work, your podcast, all of them, brighten my days. Well, what do you think about that? Do you think there's any validity to the Crystal was using horse meat to, I guess, keep their prices down and all that stuff? Why not? But also, it's interesting to me
I could see it.
That our friend says he noticed around that time that the quality of the crystals declined. So it's like horse meat must have slapped.
I mean, I was just about to say, like, we talked about it on here before. It's been a long time, but like, most other places they eat horses.
Yeah,
I don't just mean China or whatever. I mean, they
let them fat up
in
though,
Asia
right?
and Japan, but they eat them. They eat them in Europe too. Most European countries they'll have horse like on the menu and stuff. I reckon that's my understanding anyway. Well, we're like one of the only places that don't fucking eat horses, I think.
Well, I know Rogan's been on about it for a while because he's like it's lean protein.
Bodybuilders and shit love it. Apparently,
they love it.
The horse meat is very lean protein and stuff, I guess.
But what I'm thinking is like, is that super lean protein if you take a horse that wasn't meant to be ate and ate it, like a horse that's normally running around, or do these countries that you can eat horses have special horses that they sort of graze like cows to fatten the horse up? Because I'd do that. That's what I'd do. Make it hit.
Yeah, in places where they eat horses, it's just like, some horses are born to be killed and ate.
Yeah, remind me next week.
They let them get fat and stuff, I reckon, or, as fat as you want a eating horse to be. And then other horses are born to fucking run fast and fuck for money. Real roll of the dice, man, being a horse. I guess it's like anything. Those horses that end up winning like Belmont and then getting paid, of course, they don't get paid. The horse isn't like cashing checks.
Right.
But still, they get to pork all the finest horse bitches,
That's true.
As their job after they retired. That's like being Tom Brady as a human,
Oh, for sure, dude.
Meaning like 1 in a billion or whatever.
Right.
So being a horse mostly don't hit.
No, it don't. And remind me when we start the show next week, I've got some stuff about horses that I forgot today. That being said, we love you all. Thanks for listening to the show, and stay fancy, motherfuckers.
Bye.
Bye.
Here's Lydia Lovelace.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Royalty and rednecks are alike. They both like cutting and picking fights. Biscuits and baked beans where they don't belong. Sit on down with Corey and Trae and learn some fancy shit today. We'll laugh a little even when they're wrong. They'll take you to a magical place where if you call someone a cunt, nobody cares. They keep it debonair at putting on air.